All right. As promised.
Do you think kids nowadays know what slow skate is?
No, probably not. Was roller skating a thing when Carter Rice was
I don't know.
10 years
We
old?
can find out.
Carter, have you ever roller skated in your life?
I have not, but I've seen it. I've seen it in movies a lot.
You've never there's a humiliation that happens if you're like short and ugly like me when slow skate happens and no girl wants to skate with you. And you're standing on the sidelines while all the couples are out skating.
That's when you go get a drink or you get a refreshment or something. Go to the
look like
bathroom.
you're missing out. You didn't miss out on much.
Yeah, right. Carter Rice joining us here on the show, senior short stick defensive midi for the SU men's lacrosse team. And Carter, first of all, congratulations on the run you guys are on. And let's start right there. You know, you go down to Charlotte with the season kind of hanging in the balance, right? I mean, you seem like you were on the right side of the bubble, but you needed a win against Notre Dame to feel good about it. And you guys have not stopped winning since, and you've played 3 straight 1-goal games. What has this run been like for you, Carter? And I guess what changed from the 3 previous games to close out the regular season to this run that you're on?
Yeah, this run's been tremendous. We've been on the same page as an overall team, and especially as a defense, we've been pretty connected, which has been great. And I think going into the first game of the ACC tournament, our backs were against the wall. And I think we're a team that succeeds when our back's against the wall. And since then, we've had that mindset going to every game, our back's against the wall. And what we can do the next game just to put ourselves in the best position to win, we've done that, which has been great. So we're just continue to ride in the wave high.
We talked with Joey Spallina yesterday, and he kind of alluded to sometimes you need to learn how to win before you can start winning these kinds of games. And maybe and John O'Derna said the same thing to us, that sometimes you learn more from a loss, so that you can start winning some games like this. And Joey credited this senior class, you and the other seniors and even the seniors that have come before you guys to put you in this position. Can you speak to, I guess, that idea that sometimes you do have to go through some lumps before you can start winning these 1-goal games on a consistent basis?
Yeah, I think looking back at my freshman year, we were 4-10, and that was my first year playing D-midi at the college level. And I think I learned just so much from that year to sophomore year. And each year, I think we've gotten a little better as a team since my freshman year. And I've just learned so much through each overtime loss we've had. And I think actually the first overtime win we've had was against Harvard in my time at Syracuse. So I just think being in those big games and not feeling the pressure and just playing lacrosse and just knowing what I need to do as an individual to put my team to success after experiences of not having success is something that I've just learned.
You mentioned the 4-win season, your freshman year. That couldn't have been easy, right? You don't come to Syracuse to win 4 games. But, I guess take me through that year and how difficult it was, I guess, for you and your fellow freshmen that year. And did you think at all about going somewhere else, or were you committed from day one to stick it out here?
No, I definitely was committed from day one to stick it out here. This is where I wanted to go and where I wanted to have my college career. And the coaches, Coach Gate and Coach Petramala at the time, saw a lot in me, and I appreciated them seeing a lot in me. And I knew they had faith in me as a player to progress later in my career. And it was definitely tough. But like I said before, there was a lot of failure, but from that failure, I learned a lot about myself as a player and as a teammate.
Does it make you appreciate the success that much more, having gone through, 4 wins and then 8 wins and then last year losing in the national quarterfinals? Does it make you, going through some of those trials and tribulations, does it make you appreciate what you guys are doing right now even more?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super grateful for the position that we are in now, but by not any means, I'm not satisfied at all yet.
Yeah, and along those lines, it does seem like this team is taking, very much a business-like approach this week that, the Final Four drought is over and, fans are excited about that, but you just said it right there. The players aren't satisfied. There's still 2 more games to be won to achieve the ultimate goal, which is a national title. Can you speak to what practice has been like this week? It's the middle of the week now. You're 3 days away from this thing getting going in Foxboro. What has practice been like this week?
Practice has been like every other week. Just we're working hard. against the scout team as a defense, and they're challenging us, giving us good looks to be in the best position to have success come game day. And it's been a lot of hard competition, and people are just working really hard to put the entire team in a good position.
You've got Maryland on Saturday. It's another rematch, obviously. You saw Harvard once, and then you beat them on the second time. You lost to Maryland the first time. Now you look to beat them the second time. Does it help, Carter, with the preparation, knowing the opponent in that way, that you've already prepared for them once this year? Or the fact that it was, when was it? Mid-February. Is there not a lot that applies from that game to this game because it was so long ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty long ago, but just like from an athlete standpoint, I think just knowing who is going to be dodging against you and what some of their looks are offensively, and just like the speed of their dodges, their tendencies as dodgers, I think that part helps. But it's just so late in the season now, and that game was so long ago. We're kind of just moving on from that and just looking at it as a completely new game and a completely new team.
I got to ask you about the location of this game. As we're getting ready to do this interview, I just Googled how far is it from Milton, Mass. to Foxboro, and it says it's about 20 minutes. Have you ever played at Gillette Stadium before? I mean, this is very much a homecoming for you. How excited are you to go back home and play?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember like my first football camps growing up as a young kid were at Gillette Stadium, and I've had so many great memories going to Patriots games there. And when I was in elementary school and early middle school, going to see the Final Four there actually for lacrosse, like with my club team, was pretty cool. So ending off my college career back home to where it all started is definitely something pretty special.
It does seem like a dream scenario, and I know you said a moment ago, Carter, that the focus is on winning 2 games there, and you're not satisfied, and I get all that. Mm-hmm. Have you allowed yourself, though, as a senior, and knowing that there's one week left of college lacrosse, no matter what, have you tried to, I don't know, slow yourself down, smell the roses a little bit this week, or just kind of take it all in? Or is it a type of thing where you kind of reflect after it happens? Are you able to enjoy the moment, I guess, is what I'm asking you?
I think in bits and pieces, but I think just to have overall success going into the game, I think I need to be like just in the present and just looking at what I can do in the next 5 minutes, that 5 minutes, to succeed in practice and succeed come game day. I'm not really looking in the future, not really looking in the past. I'm kind of just looking in the present and seeing what I can do to give my team a competitive advantage come game day.
I wanted to ask you about the fan support that you've received, since you got here, and this year in particular. And this fan base has obviously been starved for a Final Four, and to contend again for a national championship and get back to Memorial Day weekend. And you guys have given this fan base that. Can you just touch on the community support and the fan support that you've gotten over the course of the last 4 years from Syracuse? Yeah, it's their tremendous fan base. After every game that we usually won after a home game, we would go to the sideline and go to the stands, and there'd be so many people asking for autographs, which is pretty awesome. Just like you're kind of just like treated like a celebrity almost, and it's pretty cool just to have that feeling, and just to have so many like young kids playing lacrosse around the Syracuse area looking up to you is pretty cool. So you kind of want to set a standard for them to look up to and to have them want to be like one day, which is cool. All right, let's look at this matchup now. Again, as I said, you've faced Maryland already. They've won 7 straight against you guys. What is it going to take to knock them off? They're obviously very good at what they do, and they want to be methodical and slow down the game and so on and so forth. What do you guys feel like you need to do? What's going to be the keys to this victory for you guys? I
just think defensively we have to go back to what we were preaching at the beginning of the year, which we didn't really do a good job of in the Princeton game, which are our fundamentals. I think we kind of shied away from those in the Princeton game, and going back to what Coach O preaches, just little things, just like approaches and pick play and all those little things that we learned in the fall and day one. We got to have an A+ game with our fundamentals. And I think if we do, we won't let up easy goals, and we'll play a good game defensively.
We had Coach O on yesterday, and he said that you guys got a saying to win the day, and that in this case, Wednesday's a tough team. You got to beat Wednesday in order to win on Saturday. So good luck beating Wednesday today, Carter. Thanks so much for coming on. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Best of luck at the Final Four in Foxboro.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you. Carter Rice joining us here on the program. And with that, we'll hit a timeout. 315-437-7644. We will wrap up hour number 1 next on ESPN Radio.
All right, show bro Mike. I had to hold back laughing when you said Pauly Sebelia's mother's here.